So it's 2017, and it's already been a month into the year, and just like everybody else, I've got new goals I want to try and do for this year, and things that I just feel I need to do and want to achieve. And I've been making a lot of different lists and to-do lists just to try and keep things going, keep doing things, keep working on sculpting and making videos for this channel. But I felt like I needed to get a little bit more focused and dedicated. I needed to do something that will make it so that I can hit these goals a lot better. And so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to we're gonna watch a little video of me sculpting. I'm gonna talk over it, and I'm gonna share with you the big things I want to do this year, the main goals I have, things I want to achieve, get better at, and how I'm gonna go about doing that, and maybe some ways that you'll take part and do it as well.
Before we get into all this talk of goals and goal setting, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody for subscribing to the channel. I just noticed that we are over 5,000 subscribers now to the Mini Sculptor Super Show. I always say sculptor instead of sculpting. Mini Sculpting Super Show. So thank you so much, and I'm excited to show all of you what I'm working on next. Alright, now let's talk about goal setting and resolutions. So as I mentioned in the intro, it's been a month into 2017, and like everybody else, I'm sure, I made several resolutions for myself, but already some have fallen by the wayside. Not completely, but I had high hopes of certain creative goals I was going to be hitting already. So let me go over what those things were and kind of how I've gone back, reassessed, and come up with a new plan to hit these goals in 2017. All my goals for 2017 were about creating more content. I want to draw more. I want to paint and play with miniatures more, and I want to sculpt more. And so I came up with a plan. Well, that was fairly aggressive, but doable, which would be to draw one thing a week, paint one miniature a week, and to sculpt one miniature a month, and by therefore also, creating my regular schedule of videos here on YouTube. Well, I was keeping up to a degree in the beginning of the month, of January, but things come up, and sometimes it's harder to maintain that sort of workflow. And for me personally, I actually do better when I have more of everal goals that just build the habit and keep you working. So rather than saying I will sculpt one miniature every week, or sorry, every month, every week, I could do that if it was full time. But I work better with just saying you will sculpt every day, or you will draw every day. Just do something, even if it's a tiny little bit. That's better than just not doing anything at all. Because if you do something every single day, whatever it is, you will you'll turn around, and after the end of a month, you'll have probably hit those goals. Or even if you didn't hit the one miniature, painted miniature a week, or drawing a week, you'll be closer than you would have if you just let it kind of get into your head and get all psyched out by, oh man, I'm not hitting it, and then you get depressed and then you don't do anything. So what am I doing to achieve these goals this year then? If I'm not gonna do the hard, fast, deadline driven thing. Well, what I've decided to do is something that I did about 2.5 years ago, which inspired by Kevin Cross, who did 100 days of making comics. So what I did, because as much as I like comics, I wasn't in a position or had the desire to actually create one. I just wanted to get better at drawing. So I did 100 days of drawing and doing, and that was just to get me drawing, to end up having some content created, and to get me doing videos, which that worked great and helped me get much more comfortable on camera and putting these things out. So I don't just want to draw this time though. So what am I doing this time? This time I'm going to do 100 days of making miniatures. Here's how it's going to work. For the next 100 days, I will take at least 30 minutes a day to work on making miniatures. Now that could be me actually sculpting the figures. It could involve me concepting a character that I want to sculpt, because as I've said before, I work much better having the idea worked out on paper before I move into the clear putty. And while I don't, my main goal here is to create more miniatures that I can put out and have content for the Mini Sculpting Super Show. I always say it wrong. Like I said, one of my other main goals is to play and paint miniatures. So, probably maybe once a week I'll take a day, and instead of actually sculpting and drawing, I'll work on painting a miniature. Now there are other things kind of like the 100 Days events you can do to help yourself kind of build up the habit and put in work every day in order to create extra content. For instance, there things like Inktober or these other 30-day challenges. But the reason I prefer the 100-day kind of style of doing it over those is things like Inktober typically, rather than just a time limit or things like that, it has a specific goal. For instance, draw an ink drawing every day for 30 days, and you go until it's done. And the cool thing about those challenges is that they really do focus you, and you get a lot of content in a very short amount of time. You create something every single day. You have a finished thing, even if it's a little rough still. But I've done that in the past, and as cool as it is, it's very draining. And when you get done, it's very easy to kind of just lay back and just be thankful it's over and glad you get a rest. So the reason I really like the 100-day challenges is it really, if I feel like it really builds more of a habit, because you can set a time limit. That's your only goal. It's not to finish a specific thing or do, come out with a specific completed project each day. It's just to sit down and put in the time. Because it's that, you don't have the pressure of trying to make something perfect in or half an hour, or if you only have this little bit of time during the day, you don't have to complete your project. You just have to put in some time so that you're constantly working towards your goal. And I think it's much better at building up a habit, which is kind of the purpose of doing these sort of challenges anyways. It doesn't even have to be 30 minutes a day. You could do 15 or even 10. The point is that you set a timer and you commit to doing it for that time, at least that time, every single day. 100 days is about 14 weeks. With our busy schedules, a lot of times maybe you're lucky to grab an hour or maybe 2 hours a week. Let's say it's 2 hours a week. That gives you, 28 hours? By challenging yourself to just do 30 minutes a day, you can nearly double that time and end up with 50 hours of good work done at the end of the 100-day challenge. Not to mention, if you do a daily vlog about it, like I plan to do, you can really build in a lot of accountability that you might not normally have. And you have a really cool record to show to yourself or anybody else who cares to see of what you did and how you progressed. Last time I did 100 days, it really brought me to a new level of commitment towards my art and developing, specifically in drawing. That's what I was trying to go for. So I'm super excited to have this focus more on miniatures, the actual designing the miniatures, playing the games more, painting, doing all the things I love in the hobby that I've just, time and life gets in the way. But I know after doing this, it'll be a great reset to get things back on track and where I want them to be, and end up with a lot of great things to show for my time at the end too. Well, that's about all I have to say about the 100 days of making minis. I'm really excited to do it, as I mentioned before, and I hope you guys will be here to watch how it goes and follow along and comment. And I really would hope that some of you would join me in doing your own version of this, preferably making miniatures, since that's what this is all about. And yeah, if you do, definitely post about it and let me know, and I'll watch your videos too. And whether you do a 100-day challenge or not, remember, keep sculpting.